Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Health Talk. I am your host, Dr. Niru Prasad, with my background in pediatrics and emergency medicine, affiliated with Henry Ford Health System, St. Joe, Oakland, and Beaumont. The theme of our Health Talk today is meeting the challenges of college placement by our high school students. Joining us today as my guest speaker is Ayushi Gupta. She's a Troy High School senior, and she's going to give some opinions, her own experiences, how she dealt with the college, the 4th year of college performance to get to a good college. So good morning, Ayushi, and welcome to my show.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. So I'll go ahead and do a little introduction about myself.
Yeah, if you give your introduction about yourself.
Yeah, of course. So as Dr. Prasad mentioned, I am a graduating senior at Troy High School. So I just now have finished and am in the ending process of my college applications. So I'll go ahead and talk about what exactly I want to pursue in the future, just so you guys have a perspective of what I'll be talking about today. But in general, I want to pursue some sort of career in business and medicine, so some sort of either healthcare management or just in general becoming a physician with some sort of management background.
Yeah.
And at my high school itself, so I currently do have a lot of, extracurricular activities, leadership roles. I am the president of our HOSA chapter, which is it's the Health Professionals of the Future, so it's a medical-based club. And then I'm also the president of DECA, which is a business club at Troy High School. So
that is very good, you know. You are very good role models for the juniors, who are trying for the colleges.
Of course.
So what I did is, I have been doing this show almost every year for last couple of years. At the end of my show, I do read a tribute to the graduating senior, and I just wanted to share my opinion with you that you have to have your own desire that becomes your passion.
Of course.
How do you convert your passion to motivation, and then you stay in focus to life? And you have done a great job. You have a passion to go to medicine, and you have focused yourself accordingly, and that is very good. So this is very good for our students to focus their motivation.
Of course.
So you tell me, what common challenges you faced while you were in the high school?
Yes.
Because what during the junior year, if you give your experience, what you did during the junior year, those students who are now going to seniors will follow your example.
Of course. It's very important, like Dr. Prasad mentioned, that junior year is the most critical time period for when you sort of need to get all your college applications started, get all your extracurriculars done, stuff like that. And more importantly, one of the biggest challenges that I faced was the realization that once you enter your senior year and your college applications on August 1st open up, that is the moment that you should have everything collected. You can no longer, you'll still have ongoing activities and stuff like that, but by the start of August 1st, everything from junior year, sophomore year, freshman year should be collected and ready to
already for you.
Sent,
very good. So now so far you talked about the professional goals.
Yes.
So whether you are interested in medicine, technologies, engineering, all the scientific profession, they are ready to grab you, right?
Yeah.
But in order to do that, you have to go through the programs at school. So I got a STEM program for the middle and high schoolers. Can you comment on some other programs that your schools are offering for for the juniors?
Yeah, of course. So my school specifically, I go to Troy High School. We don't have a direct STEM program, but we offer a variety of courses in the STEM field and fields outside of STEM. And you ultimately have the chance or the choice to decide whether you want to take electives based on science courses, engineering courses, things that are more STEM-based, or you can choose electives that are more business-based, marketing-based, stuff like that. So my program at my high school is, in my opinion, we have the option to waive like history courses that are separate from the STEM program, and pursue those programs for us.
So that is very good, because the student, they should know whether they want to go through the STEM program, study math, science, or they have, it doesn't matter what they become later on, whether they are doctors, engineer, they have to stay focused, pick up your career like you have decided so far, and stick to it. Do you agree with me?
That's true. That's 100% true.
Now you tell us about how do you organize for the
College.
Before we go to extracurricular activities, how you tell your junior groups, how they should study, because I did so much research on this subject, and I think that the junior year means a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Means a lot. That's the most busy part. So can you explain how the junior years you handled yourself?
Yeah, of course. So as Dr. Prasad mentioned, junior year is the most critical time. So what I focused on was my study mechanism and how to kind of, focus and lock in certain periods of time. And overall, just prioritization. Like in junior year, you have to know when is the proper time to spend your entire day sitting inside and studying. On top of that, how to keep a balance in your life, how to make sure that you're still having
Very
fun,
important.
still having
Make a balance.
like keeping your mental health up, doing things that make you happy at certain points. But in general, junior year, learning how your study mechanism is and making sure that your academic rigor is the highest that it can be was probably something that I would advise juniors to do, or even earlier than that, freshman and sophomore. If you learn the way that you study best, then you're likely to pursue that same study mechanism and have it.
So in other words, the sophomore years is very important, because if you do good in sophomore years, then you know what honors classes you are, what AP classes, right?
Yeah, and going off of what you just said, their colleges, they look at commitment. And in general, they look at, is someone pursuing a course for only 1 year during their senior year, or are they pursuing it all 4 years?
The colleges are very smart. So, I did a lot of research studies about what are the requirements for the Ivy League colleges. And we will talk about it there. So right now, success is around the corners for all of our students, okay? Address the need for better preparedness, student support group, right? Join the support group, which you did. And reform the faculty developments, right? That is very important too. Now, so far as the career is important, can you comment on some extracurricular activities also that you have gone through? Because I know it all adds, right?
Yeah, of course. Going back to what we said about freshman and sophomore year being super important, based on my experience, I would highly recommend that freshmen, sophomores, they get started on, kind of capturing leadership roles, or just in general joining clubs, because from my experience at least, right now I serve as the president of 2 clubs and I'm on board for probably 2 or 3 more. And the only way I was able to retain that leadership experience was because I started those clubs from freshman year. So if I joined those clubs in freshman year, I was seen as a committed member, and colleges see that too. They even ask on the application, how many years have you been doing this? So that's one of the most important things, starting your extracurriculars as early as possible. And not only that, but taking larger roles every year, which gets you to, the position that people have today.
So the college applications at the other end, they look overall, right?
Yes, they look holistically.
They look overall. What else you did besides studying your ACT or SAT? And plus, essays play an important, significant role, right? Could you comment on the essays?
Of course.
How the juniors, how they should start writing?
Yeah. So overall, the college application process has, extracurriculars, leadership activities, and the activities portion of the Common App, I included things like the sports I've played, like I've played volleyball for many years
Right.
now. I included programs that I attended. It's very, very, very influential on your application, and it stands out if you have a variety of things. Like I had volunteering, extracurricular activities, leadership, on top of it sports. That provides a lot of
So
background.
You must have been very busy.
Yeah, it was definitely busy, but with a
but
good
it's
balance.
Better to be busy, in the junior years, achieve all
that
because
stuff,
that
yeah.
means a lot for all the, all the colleges.
yeah.
When you are right now, you are almost done.
That's true.
Everything you're just accepting your
Decisions and stuff like that.
admission. So,
Yeah.
so this is the few guidelines how you do that. Just keep your self-esteem high.
Yes.
You know what you are worth, and stop comparing yourself. This is very important. Stop comparing yourselves to others. Because
Yeah.
then you develop a inferiority complex.
That's true.
And associate with the students, who support you.
Yeah.
Get involved in activities you have already done. Identify your own talents, which you did, and you are sticking to it. So that's good. So now we have I read, about some tips about what the Ivy League colleges want.
Yeah.
So can you comment on this?
Of course. Ivy League colleges in general are looking for, a student that is above average,
Okay.
expecting that they are the top 10 universities. But seeing what would be on an application for an Ivy League student, they're probably looking for, a lot of good research and extracurricular activities that are above regular activities. For example, like having top board positions within clubs, and not just one top board position, but multiple.
Multiple,
I would
yeah.
advise, for me at least, when I joined freshman year, I took on almost every club at Troy High.
Yeah,
I joined probably 10 or
Chess.
15. Yeah, everything.
Chess, athletes, every
everything.
club, yeah.
And the thing is, that's probably even better, I would say. I would say if going in freshman year, it's not like you have a direct mindset, I want to do medicine or I want to do engineering. You don't know yet,
Right,
ultimately.
yeah.
So what I did is I joined a bunch of different clubs, and out of those probably 10 clubs that I joined, only a couple of them will offer you board positions. So the more you join
The club, yeah.
the more clubs you join in freshman year, the better it is, because I found an interest in business and medicine, and those are the two clubs that I enjoy the most and now serve as president for.
So once your advice to the juniors are, first you join as many clubs as you want.
Yes.
And then you find out which one you like and focus on those, right?
Yeah. It's definitely, this advice is very subjective. Join as many clubs as you think would suit your preferences.
Sure, yeah.
And then for example, if I knew I wasn't interested in engineering, I
Right.
wouldn't join robotics, but medicine and business is very broad.
Yeah, right,
So I
yeah.
joined multiple business, multiple medicine, and then at the
And
end.
then you do that, yeah.
Yeah.
So now, what is the Ivy League requirement? What I read, it says GPA under 3, 80% is more if the GPA goes to 3.75. So high school GPA is based on many factors, like we already do. And in order to go to the Ivy League colleges, you need a GPA of 4.0 and above, plus the ACT score.
Yes, of course.
ACT score. So would you comment on that? Should the student be just focused in GPA? And could you comment on the honors classes that they are taking?
Of course. So in my opinion, and this is a very popular opinion as well, colleges first, before even considering essays, before even considering recommendation, they qualify you based on your merit. So that is your GPA, your SAT scores, your course rigor at your high school. So in terms of SAT, starting early is always good. Junior year is when you should be taking it. So starting summer going into junior year or beginning of junior year is best. GPA-wise, this kind of goes co in hand with course rigor. I would suggest take as many APs as you can take on.
Is there any
make sure.
limit how many APs somebody can take?
At my high school, we have approximately like 20, 30, so there's not really a limit.
Okay.
But other high schools that have, a certain limit, there is limited numbers. But I would say if you're planning to go to a top university, like I know one of my friends at the University of Michigan, her application was rated as moderate, so it was a middle level application, and she had 8 APs.
So
APs.
That
yes.
counts, right?
Yeah, so 8 APs was moderate. So I'm saying, like, if you want to go to an Ivy, take as much as your high school offers, but on top of that, try to take a higher number in order to,
Okay. And then another thing, would you comment about the recommendation letters that you want from your mentors, from your teachers?
Of course. So recommendation letters are super important. I've heard that in the college application process, comparing 2 applications with the exact same merit, it's fully based off of, whose recommendation letter speaks more volume. And something I would suggest in that case is finding a recommender or a teacher. I even had an outside school, like one of my mentors, write me a recommendation letter, but finding someone that you are close to, not just academically. Like teachers prefer students who have better grades in their classes, but like my teacher that I asked, for example, was my marketing teacher. And although she isn't a STEM teacher, I asked one STEM teacher as well. But my marketing teacher, she is my best friend almost. So we talk about anything. She knows me personally and also academically.
So she gave you.
Yes, she could comment on everything.
From what I hear, you need only 2 recommendation letters, right?
Yes.
Am I right or
Yes, for colleges, it depends on the college. Some have only 1 required, some have no required, but oftentimes you'll see for the top 20, top 40 schools, it is 2 required recommendation letters.
So when I was doing this Ivy League colleges, what are the tips, how to get it?
Yeah.
They mention about WHY-US essay. Can you comment on that? Because in our time, we didn't have all
those things, of
course. This is all new things.
Yeah.
Comment on those.
So that is the Why Us essay, and that's the most popular essay that you'll see across
these days. That's what they said.
Over all
U.S.
colleges.
News, CNN, everybody they talked about U.S. essay. And at the end of my slide presentation, I have included the bibliographies for everything where I got all this information.
Yeah, for sure. And that Why Us essay is basically focused on every college wants to know why you're choosing them above others. So something I suggest that I did in this process was I did fully sat there and did my research within the colleges. Seeing for example, the University of Michigan is one of my schools that I want to go to. I looked at what their undergraduate program plus their graduate program has. So if I wanted to pursue medicine and business, they have an MD,
then you have that
MBA.
particular, right?
Yes, and you mentioned that in the YS essay.
And YS.
On top of that, another thing that would look very good on that YS essay is if you do a campus visit at those colleges.
That was my next question. Visit the campus where you want to go, right?
Yes. And that helps a lot because that gives you knowledge beyond just the website and beyond just the things you hear around you regarding the university. I got, for example, at University of Michigan, where I'm applying.
Is that where you want to go? You will be close to your family.
Yes, I'll be close to my family.
They have a wonderful, excellent program.
Yes. And
MD, MBA,
It's very nice. It lines up with my career goals, which is pretty nice also. And the thing is, when I went to that campus visit, I saw a light show, and it was a very nice light show. And I commented about that on my essay. And
that's good.
It provides a lot of good, personality almost, and it shows that you visited this campus, you saw something that other students didn't have that connection towards.
So that helps a lot, That was very good to visit the campus. You focus on what you are doing there, what you are seeing, and then what you like the most. So what did you like most about the University of Michigan campus?
I think
it is a wonderful campus. All
wonderful.
my kids, they went to University of Michigan
That's nice.
undergraduates. Yeah.
Wow. It's overall the campus just has a great community. That's something everyone loves about it. I mean, you'll
Yeah.
see somebody like I'll wear like a Michigan hoodie or some sort of merchandise, and everybody around me will be saying like "Go Blue, Go Blue." Like
Go Blue.
the community there is what makes it as good as it is, and that's something great to mention on the essays. Like apart from the fact that I mentioned the classes I wanted to take, the program I wanted to enter.
So you went
On top of that.
with the physical appearance there meant a lot to you,
Yes.
right? Because this is in your mind now.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do, right?
Yes,
So
of course.
that's good. So we talked about these Ivy League colleges, their requirement.
Yes.
I don't want to go too much about the legislation.
Yeah.
You know, what is the new legislation that U.S. World News,
Yeah.
about the discrimination.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk the detail, but I believe everybody knows already, right?
Yeah.
If somebody wants to know more about this, the bibliography is there. So what I did is, one thing we have to emphasize the role of the parents.
Yes, of
They
course.
were your role models, yeah? So tell me about the role, how your parents.
Of course, played a role in my college application process. So, parents, they can either be the make it or break it, but ideally having parents that are very supportive of your goals and
Right, yeah.
aren't often comparing you. That's one of the key things. It's hard itself for the student to take on like such a tedious and excruciating process like the college application process. So
Yeah, the support, lot of support from your
support.
parents, right?
Yes, just more
Which-
positive words than
Right,
negative.
positive, good nutrition.
Yes.
Yeah,
Keeping
proper sleep, right?
Yes.
Did you get proper sleep or no?
Some days I didn't, but most days I tried to, so it was nice.
I know, because I remember my kids, they all went to good colleges, but they were up till 12 o'clock
Every day
studying.
just-
and then
doing-
wake up in the morning because they had tennis or something else going on.
Yeah, that's true. I think the biggest thing the parents can do is be there for their children during the process, and not only that, but if you're realizing that your student needs a little more motivation, maybe influence and motivate them to have better habits. I know that was something that
Yeah.
I got and I received that support from my parents, which really helped me ideally in the process.
So, I wrote. Can you help me here? How I get to the last two? Yeah, okay. So what happens, Ayushi, at the end of my lecture?
Yeah.
I always write a tribute to our graduating senior, something that they will remember all their lifelong. And usually, what I do to my grandchildren or that, I make a frame. Give it to them. So this is a life. Remember, life is full of joy and happiness if you can wake up smiling in the morning and keep a happy heart throughout. Yes. If you can help others, which is very good, volunteering, help others, show your concern and give them moral support. If you can get along with your friends and family, even though, their ideas might differ, you can give encouragement to someone who is in trouble, okay? And who is lonely. Set up your goals and motivation in life and completely self-sufficient. Then only in your heart, you will discover that you are the person you would like to be. Remember, the challenges are high, the dreams are bright and new, and world is waiting for you. So reach them all, graduates. Since no goal is too distant, like you said, congratulating. And I tell you, this poem I wrote, and it has been used so many times in most of the graduation speech. It has come out in the newsletters also. So this is what you remember. Set up your goals and remember what your goals are. So now, do you have anything else to? Yeah, one thing I forgot to ask you. I don't know if we have time or not. Can you the role of AI, artificial intelligence?
Of course, that's something that is very controversial nowadays, but this is something that is very, promoted by our teachers as well.
Yeah,
A
they
lot-
promote it.
A lot of my English teacher, they promote it fully. They say it's something very, very helpful.
Artificial intelligence.
It's even
Yes,
more
yeah.
intelligent than all of us. So having it, using it effectively during the college application process
You use
is,
those?
yes, I think the best way to do it is paste your ideas into the box.
And then put it in that.
Yes. Once it develops your essay, use parts and pieces of it
I
to
know,
make
I
sure
know.
that you're not plagiarizing, but it's
See,
very helpful. So
Yeah, right now I'm in the process of submitting several journals,
Yeah.
articles. My oldest grandson, he is in Northwestern Medical School.
Oh, wow.
So I figured out that if I get some articles published along with his research work,
Yeah.
at least he will have it. My
Yeah.
legacy will be over.
Over.
I will be gone, but they will always have that,
yeah,
right?
of course.
So artificial intelligence, I don't know anything about it. I did write a paper about the role of artificial intelligence in medicine,
Oh, wow.
but I just don't know how to use it. I'm not computer.
Yeah, that's very valid. It's something that I recommend everybody using. Like,
Oh, really?
for the college application process, what I did at least was I took my ideas and
So-
pasted them in there and used
Alright.
it. So
So I'd like to thank you, Ayushi, for coming to my show. The title of the show was Meeting the Challenges of College Placement.
yeah,
By meeting the college placement for our juniors and seniors, and
Yeah.
your advice to the juniors were well respected.
Yes.
And I hope they will always follow you like a role model. Okay. I like to thank our producer, our camera people, and for helping me produce this wonderful slide presentation. And I also like to thank my sophomore grandson who helped me preparing these
These
slides.
slides. That's
yeah.
wonderful.
And he said, Grandma, no, don't put my name. I said, yes,
I
I'm
will
going.
put your name.
So thank you again.
Thank you so much too, Dr. Prasad, and everyone who's helping.
Yeah.